Hey there everyone, I'm Vicki Howell and I am going to show you two different ways to work two stitch cables. So C2B and C2F, cable front, cable 2 front, and cable 2 back. I'm going to show you how to do it with a cable needle and without. So first up is cable needle. So I've got mine ready. Mine happens to look like the letter J. Does not matter, whatever type you like works for me. So let's first talk about our cable back. So to work a C2B with a cable needle, you are going to slip the first stitch onto your cable needle and hold it to the back or let it fall to the back. Then you knit the next stitch. From there you lift up your cable needle and knit that stitch. And that is your C2B. All right, let's talk about our C2F. So our cable front. For this one, you work exactly the same way, but in reverse. You're going to still slip the stitch onto the cable needle, but as the name infers, for C2F or C2 front, you're going to hold that cable needle in front. Knit the next stitch, and then knit that stitch off of the cable needle. And now you can see you've created your C2F, which is a left leaning cable, and C2B, which is the right leaning cable. Okay, now, since it's only 2 stitches, though, sometimes working with a cable needle is kind of more fuss than it's worth. So I'm going to show you how to work this without a cable needle. So for this version, you can always slip it off and just pinch it forward or backwards just without the needle if you're feeling wild and crazy. But a perhaps safer way would be to work into the front of the first stitch on the left-hand needle. You're going to knit the stitch, the second stitch on the needle rather, and then you're going to knit the first stitch, and at that point you pull them off, and that creates your right leaning cable. I'm going to do it one more time. I feel like I could do it a little better. Okay, so for our C2B without the cable needle, you're going to knit in the second stitch on the left-hand needle from front to back, knit it, but don't let the loops fall off, then work a regular knit stitch in the first stitch on the left-hand needle, and now let both drop off. And what you've done is you've twisted the stitches, creating that same look of our cable with the cable needle. So to work the opposite one, the C2F, you are going to do the same thing but work in the back. So we're going to knit through the back, but don't let that stitch come off again. And then you're going to knit the second stitch, or excuse me, the first stitch on the needle. Let them both drop off, and now you've created your cable. Now, a thing to note here is there might be a slight change or a difference in the loops, loop length. It makes sense that if you have a needle dropped forward or backwards, that you would get a little more length from your loops, whereas twisting it is a little bit tighter. It does not make any difference as long as you consistently use the same method. So just a little hot tip for you. And that, my friends, is it. 2 different ways to work the C2 cables.